The main events were the best, and then there was the rest. There was also one particular match that nearly made me shut off the goddamn show and swear off the rest of the tournament because of how goddamn bad it was, but I'm glad I stuck around for the main events, so let's get to it all, shall we? I'm John Renton with my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Japan Cup 2023 Night 7 and 8 events. Let me know your thoughts on these shows in the comments, please. So, in regards to the upcoming shows, the events for the 17th and the 18th, Human Centipede together into one video up Saturday evening. The semifinals will be an individual video, and the finals will be their own video. There you go. They will be posted as soon as I have the time and energy. Depends on, how much I work and what other projects I have going on. So yeah, there was one particular match on the Night 7 event that nearly made me say, you know what? No. I'm goddamn done. I'm sick of the repetitive stuff. But that being said, I am glad I stuck around. So we start with Night 7, which was on the 13th, just, a couple days ago. Narita and Oscar taking on Kenta and Chase. Chase, unfortunately, was going to be joining commentary later, further cementing the fact that Night 7 was a goddamn low point, because Chase is really not a very interesting wrestler, and he's definitely not an interesting commentator. So Chase ends up hitting a knee to face, 1, 2, 3, and there you go. I do love Kenta's theme. That's about the best thing I can say about this. The match wasn't bad, but it was typical. Then we get ZSJ and Fujita taking on Tama Tonga and Shota. Preview of Shota versus Zack Sabre Jr. Don't worry, I'll get to that. And Fujita with heavy chops. I mean, good God, those echoed like crazy. Heavy arm focus. I love watching ZSJ work. It's a joy to watch. And then Fujita eventually does end up getting hit, obviously, with the gun stun. 1, 2, 3. There was no doubt that Fujita was going to be the one to take the pin, because even though he is in, TMZSJ, he is still a young lion. He's going to be the one to take the pin more often than not. And then we get Taichi and Taka taking on Yujiro and Sho. I see House of Torture. I say fuck off. Taka got pinned by Yujiro. If they get rid of House of Torture, I'm not saying get rid of the talents, they get rid of House of Torture, and honestly, if they dissolve Bullet Club, New Japan will be a lot more interesting. Okan, Hanare, and Fletcher taking on Finlay, ELP, and Gato. Yes, okay, what I just said about Bullet Club, at least they're trying to do something with Finlay and ELP, because ELP obviously is going to go face soon. Chase joins commentary. Oh, hell no, why is this happening? What ancient totem did I defile to warrant this? Give ELP a good run in the G1 is what I noted. And the Sheep Killer taps out Gato. And then we get Chaos, Bishamon, Yoshihashi, and Goto, with Leo Rush, aka Leo Rush and Yo, and Tomohiro Ishii against LIJ. All of LIJ except Teton. I can't help but pronounce that name, and just laugh. Perky Teton. Anyway, it wasn't dull. Cup previews and previews of Leo versus Hiromu. Chase sucks at commentary is what I noted. The pace is good, and Bushi gets that dive in, because, of course, Bushi is going to get that dive in 90% of the goddamn time. Even, and speaking of diving in, now you get the goddamn producer coming in, the producer diving in. So now the producer has to come in and chime in about Bushi, because the producer, for whatever reason, just had to get his comments in about Bushi. You like Bushi, you like his mask, you like the fact that he gets his gloves over his face and just does the really cool shit. And the Pumping Bomber, got the victory. It got the victory. Pumping Bomber. Say hi to the camera. Okay. Anyway, let's just move on from that. So, LIJ gets the victory. Big shock. Jeff Cobb versus Evil. Second round match. Okay. Just admit that you hate the fans, Gato. Just admit you hate the fans, because nobody wants to see this House of Torture stuff. It's not like, oh, we want to see these heels get beat. No, we don't want to see these fuckers. This was an abomination. Made the goddamn referee look goddamn ineffective. Stop making the referees look ineffective. We get enough of that in American companies. And Gato, ended up doing all this bullshit. Yeah, okay, it took 4 people to take down Cobb. It was still stupid, and Evil won. Good God. And Okan was handcuffed at one point just for being on commentary. Why? See, I can't even really say anything necessarily bad about this, and now I have to bring the producer back on here, because otherwise I'm going to get pissed off. So you're going to have to say something else here, because otherwise I'm gonna get banned for what I say about this, about the... You don't like House of Torture either. See, you get your pies folded up and everything. You're just resigned to the fact that they aren't very good. Yeah, it's a exasperated meows, about as good as you can get. So let's go with Will Ospreay versus Mark Davis, while I have the producer on here. Mark Davis had a very good showing here, and Will Ospreay apparently separated his shoulder during this. It was during that bump on the outside under the floor mats, I believe. And I don't know how long Will Ospreay is going to be out, but apparently this, even though he won this match, and this was a pretty good main event, it was very heavy-handed, very well done, very good pace and everything. Mark Davis had a lot of good, fire here. And I gotta admit, I mean, I haven't seen a ton of Aussie Open. You got to see a bit of Aussie Open. I don't know why you do. Aussie Open isn't over there. That's a curtain. That's a curtain over there. I keep telling you this. But yeah, Mark Davis had a good showing, and what ended up basically happening was he kicked out of quite a few things, but then eventually got hit with the hidden blade 1, 2, 3. Now that was pretty good, wasn't it? That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Hey, you wanted to come in here and talk about Bushi's dive. You dove in here, and now I'm talking to you. So yeah, basically, nevertheless, Will Ospreay gets the victory, but did separate his shoulder, so he ended up calling in a favor, basically having Mark Davis, sub for him. Henare seemed a little pissed on night 8, that he wasn't going to be part of that. But nevertheless, that is the end of the coverage for night 7. I nearly shut it off because of the evil Jeff Cobb match. It was so goddamn infuriating. But nevertheless, that being said, let's get to night 8. So, night 8, which just happened a few hours ago as I'm recording. Will Ospreay outdo his separated shoulder. Mark Davis will replace him. Kevin Kelly flying solo, and then Kyle Fletcher joined later. And Henare took on Nakashima. Nakashima trying to power himself through this with his glorious hair, but Henare beat him with Ultima. Henare's pissed that he didn't get selected as a replacement. I don't blame him. He beat Shingo. I'm not knocking Mark Davis one goddamn bit. But for storyline, kind of makes sense why Henare would be pissed. So, Henare, though, I hope he gets it. I put him in the G1, give him a few victories. Let's start building up Henare a little bit. So, Cobb C Open, Jeff Cobb and Aussie Open took on Bishamon, Yoshihashi, and Goto, and Oiwa. Hey, look, Oiwa took the pin. Big shock. Not really, but at least we're getting a preview of the upcoming Tag Team Championship match. It will likely take place at Sakura Genesis. Don't have it take place on the finals. Have it take place at Sakura Genesis. Because you got to make that card mean something. Have a bunch of title matches and then move on to, Dentaku is the next couple events, or they're just going to have one. I don't know. It was kind of, Oiwa just getting hit with that rack spin. I don't know what the hell Mark Davis calls that, but it's a weird maneuver. It's a good maneuver. But anyway, just 4 guys took on House of Torture. No. Taichi chokes out Dick. Damn shame he didn't choke him out and leave him there twitching. But there you go. Dick Togo takes the fall. I'm just going to skip over some of this stuff, especially if it doesn't interest me. Like, well, let's see. Tama Tonga, Narita, and Jado taking on Kenta, ELP, and Chase. ELP is going to be a strong face. I know that. This is the usual, and the game over taps out Jado. Sometimes I'm starting to think that with these tournaments, maybe if I just do if I review the New Japan Cup next year, I might just say, here are the matches that happened on the undercard, and here are the cup matches, and just do like 6 shows together and just talk about that. But anyway, yeah, the game over tapped out Jado, and then Chaos and Hanma will Leo Rush and, oh god, let's see, who the hell was it? Ishii, and, Ishii? Yeah, they just had various Chaos members, and then Hanma against LIJ, and it was the usual stuff. I mean, the Double Paradise, Yano was in that, that's right. I tend to try and tune out Yano, honestly. So Direct Drive pins Bushi 1, 2, 3. There you go. Now let's get to Finlay versus the Great Okan. Now, this wasn't badly wrestled, and Finlay is likely going to win this, considering what they had him do, Jay White, at the San Jose show, and he'll face Okada and won't win. God forbid if Finlay gets rocketed to the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. We don't need that. But some good stuff here. I mean, look, Finlay can work. I don't know how well this heel turn's going to work, and O-Khan can work. It was kind of adorable seeing that kid that was doing the O-Khan thing, you know, with the taped hand and stuff like that, and doing this. That was cool. See, that's the kind of impact wrestlers can positively have on kids. And great O-Khan's for the children and also for the women, because he will defend women. And if a guy that big is coming up, maybe don't be a creep towards women, especially if a very, very large, scary man can come at you and stop you. Also, just don't be a creep towards women. Big, shoulder breaker by O-Khan. That was just scary. And then Trash Panda 1, 2, 3. Not a bad match. Certainly better than the semi-main we got on night 7. And then we get Shota Umino versus Zack Sabre Jr. in a second round match. And brilliant, good stuff. You know what? Here, you come over here. You like this match. One more time. Oh, goodness. You liked this match. You liked seeing Shota because I showed you old footage of Tanahashi and you just looked at me. Now I understand you thought it was Shota, but see, you weren't alive when Tanahashi was a big deal. And still is a big deal. You're gonna demolish me after I post this review, aren't you? See, he wanted Shota to win, and you powered him through. You powered him through. Shota and Zack Sabre Jr. with a 26-minute match. It was great. It was great stuff. The producer is looking at me like he is going to just flat out end me right after this. But honestly, this was really good. This is really, really good shit. No 15-minute time limit constraints due to the TV championship, gimmick, so to speak, stipulation, as it were. And plenty of arm focus. Shota got his arm focus on, and at one point did an apron bump where he did the arm twist, and Zack Sabre Jr.'s arm is busted. And they're doing some great stuff here. I love watching Zack Sabre Jr. work. Shota has improved dramatically. Great stuff. Again, the producer powering him through the whole goddamn thing. And then they get out the big moves. We get a Bloody Sunday variation, a neck breaker for 2. That wouldn't be a bad finish for Shota to have. That's one he hit right before he got locked in the armbar twist. And the crowd is up. We get strikes. 25 minutes. We're getting more good stuff. It seems like Zack might get the victory. Nope. Gets, kind of caught out of a backslide. Death Rider. 1, 2, 3. Big pop. Good stuff. Shota Umino. Very, very gracious towards the crowd and everything. Very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. I really enjoyed this. This is going to be one of my favorite matches of the year. At least it is so far. I mean, we got given the fact that I review New Japan, WWE, AEW, and I got all these matches already written on various lists, it's going to be very interesting to see what makes the top 25, top 30 matches of the year list. But that being said, Shota Umino beating Zack Sabre Jr., no doubt cementing the fact that we are going to get that match at Sakura Genesis for the TV Championship. Maybe Shota wins. Maybe Zack retains. Who knows? That's why we play the game. That's the name of the game, Call No Freaks. So yeah, again, the 17th, the 18th, Human Centipede together. The semifinal show, individual, up Sunday afternoon. I believe it's on the 19th. And then the finals, which is in 6 days on the 21st. Up Tuesday afternoon, evening, depending on when I'm able to get to it. So, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.